G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talk Stuff Ukraine War update for the 19th of July 2026. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood Arcade, Power Games, Into the Ozmound, and The Erotic Tales from the Empire, Part 1 and 2 out now, Part 3 coming soon. All my links are in the link tree. The script. Now, as we look at the Ukraine map, the sea of green is the rallies today against Zelensky's dismissal of the defense minister, demands for the general to be removed, and all in all, believed to be an overall expression of disappointment and dismay and demands for the government to step to listen to the people. They're not pushing their luck, but you never know. Zelensky is not taken kindly to opposition. Now, Kyiv today was hit, well, depending on the reports, anywhere from 2 to 10 missiles. You can definitely see it's more than 2. And, yeah. Sumy was hit by multiple drones and fresh explosions of a short time ago. There was also a explosion out here reported. Russian airstrikes on the along the border. Oh, just inside on Ukrainian positions. Explosions in Kharkiv. Multiple attacks and explosions around Dnipro, Zaporozhye, Kryvyi. That's protests. And multiple attacks on this. One on the port and one on a ship, at port, and one on the leaving ship. It was Antigua Barbuda flagged, but believed to be a Ukrainian ship, just foreign flagged. Now, militarily wise, on the front, the Russians engaged in multiple engagements with no significant change to the buffer zone. It's almost one here. This is only growing a little bit. Nothing at Kupiansk. This has grown a little bit, and that's it. No significant change in Lyman, although they are pushing in here, squeezing out the Ukrainians. They haven't. Elsewhere, no significant results, though there is a successful push here, not far. Parts of Kostrikovia, Ukrainians still able to infiltrate Kostrikovia. The Russians haven't resumed their push on Tiransky yet. They're still pushing in other areas. No significant advance. No towns have fallen. And for now, some parts of the front are very quiet, while others are very continuous, almost continuous fighting. Ukraine has lost drones, but they have struck 13 vessels. No reports of any sunk. Fire at Yalta, suspected drone strike, falling debris from a drone strike. And other areas as well. Continuing from yesterday, Wildberry's fire was put out burned well into the night. Was a big one. There was deliberate attack on a Russian logistics center, which was a civilian parcel center, by the way, not a military parcel center. Empire Valves, that's one word, empirevalves.myshopify.com, your one-stop shop for enchanting treasures based on my writing. Thank you for your support. I really need it. Thank you. All right. I forgot to scroll back up. Al Jazeera is reporting deaths on both civilian deaths in Ukraine and in Russia as protests continue. Now, Russian missile strike in Odessa. This is July 17th. Yeah. Yeah. 2 people killed, 8 wounded. Now they're saying residential building. No one knows, no one's able to prove whether it was deliberate or because of jamming. And how many of these stories are propaganda as well. So, because notice they never talk about the port. They never talk about the port. It's always civilian areas hit. And yet, now and again, will they actually show? No. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's actually a ship that was hit. See, they always talk about what Ukraine does. Meanwhile, this is the important part of the story, is buried. And that is protests against Zelensky for again putting members of the Ukrainian security services into key positions in Ukraine. This is a coup by the deep state. The Ukrainian security services become ministers and then assistant or junior ministers, and then Zelensky fires ministers and then appoints the minister who was not long ago a Ukrainian secret service. This is a coup. You're watching the deep state replace civilian elected officials. And here, Al Jazeera is only claiming at least one Russian missile hit Kyiv. No, there are about 8 to 10. Other buildings, yeah, they never report. Yeah, never report any military targets hit. Russia has noted a sudden significant drop in Ukrainian drones. This is obvious because Russia's strikes in the last week have been successful because Ukraine can't launch the same amount of drones as previously. Now, they've hit a train. Whoops, wrong one. They've hit a train using a Seeker drone. This is a jet-powered drone that allegedly can recognize its programmed target and strike it. Guide the drone in for precision strike. The fact that they're AI-powered drones and Russia's producing robots as well, we'll see whether or not what they do with those soon. But their robot tank, yeah, I don't think we haven't seen much from it lately. But one of their more successful projects are the I suppose gun turrets, cheaper than missiles, and they have been taking out drones. The drones have to. They know Russia knows what Ukraine wants to attack, and just stick some guns on the in their way, and some guy's going to stand guard post. But Russia is fending off drones, though there was 2 fires from falling drone debris. Firefighters were working into the night, so and you can see there's fires, smoke from fires there. So it's unusual for Russia to be so open, isn't it? When Ukraine, who's supposed to be pro-Europe, is so closed. As you can see, Russia is reporting ships that it's hit. It is. We have entered a new phase of the war. Ukraine won't stop attacking shipping, so Russia is now attacking shipping. It's by design. It's a British provocation. British do something, you respond, and then they totally wipe out all their previous attacks and say, look, you attacked our shipping, so we can attack you now. That's what it's all about. So Russia is is prosecuting its attacks very cautiously. They are not as indiscriminate as Ukraine, because they don't have Ukraine's privilege in the United Nations. You don't hear the United Nations. You don't hear the Seamen's Union. You don't hear anyone complaining about Ukrainian drone attacks. But there you go. Ship it. That's 2 different ships in port. Yeah. Notice when you see photos from Ukraine, there'd be 8 cranes. I've seen ports. They have more than 2 cranes. Had. Yeah. They're very expensive, by the way. And Russian drones cripple them. It slows down. You need multiple um, cranes. Yeah. All right. So Russia again, logistics center. You attacked the Russian logistics center. This confirms what I said yesterday. Anything Ukraine hits, Russia will now hit. Russia is trying to always frame its side of the war as a retaliation, so it waits to be hit. You hit a Russian power station, Russia hits your power stations. And so around and around it goes. So whatever Ukraine hit today, yeah, they hit the oil depot. So Dnipro is back on the list. Dnipro, yeah. So that's why round and round it goes. And if Ukraine can only muster a few hundred drones and most of them get shot down, and Russia can send 20 and wreak more havoc, well, that is clearly bad news for Ukraine. But we shall see what happens. I'm not optimistic that these rallies will change the mind of Zelensky. Now, I have seen my unique experience is that I've lived through a corrupt government. A government that was very popular, knowingly corrupt. People enjoyed the underground casinos, the brothels. I was in high school when the government eventually got thrown out. And it was lots of protests, lots of protests, lots of protests, and they weren't working. Then one day, a minister get fired. I forget why. I think it was an argument over the leaking about brown paper bags of money, political donations in cash, not being reported. So to quiet the protests, fired. Next, another one. Soon the ministers all get together, have a special meeting, and they oust the premier. Why? Why would the corrupt oust the premier? Well, it's simple. They all looked at each other and says, "Who's next?" Yeah. Uh, Now, you want to wait 20 years, Ukraine? Rip the band-aid off. You can't keep the corruption. You can't have the corruption. Yeah, I know what it's like to feel that a $20 will get you off a speeding fine. No one enforcing illegal parking. I know what it's like. People feel freer. People enjoy themselves for a while. The gangster's paradise isn't paradise. It's a fool's paradise where you suddenly realize the criminals are in charge, not the government. And then that's when everyone gets together and says, look, it's about time we fix this. Now, the thing that most people forget about the corrupt government, one of the reasons why it lasted so long, is the opposition was just as corrupt, and deliberately lame ducking every election. They too enjoyed the gangster's paradise. The whole country knew that Queensland was a gangster's paradise. Now, I'm not saying Ukraine is going to fix things overnight, but these are positive signs. I know I don't usually like protests, but these aren't violent protests, nor are they paranoid conspiracies. These are genuine people who are genuinely upset that someone who was adequately defending them, possibly even getting this war stalled. And a lot of people believe if the war had stalled for a bit longer, Russia will have to start consolidating its position and realizing that their time is up, that they can't continue to advance, that they have to call it a day. So, yeah, you can see why a lot of Ukrainians are upset. They were so close to an end. They could see the light at the tunnel. And Zelensky has just proven to the world, not just to Ukraine, but the world, that he is not interested in peace. That he's only interested in glory. When he says glory to Ukraine, he means glory to Zelensky. This is the personification of the state. This is what happens. It's the same thing. We have the dictator of Queensland, now you have the dictator of Ukraine. And everybody used to go around saying, well, of course he's a dictator, but he's our dictator. Well, it's the same in South Vietnam. It was the same all around the world. You can scream all you like about Belarus and dictatorships, but you got to remember, look in the mirror, son, before you go pointing fingers. Remember, there are fingers pointing back at you. You have to clean house first. You have to clean up your own backyard first. And if Europe wants to clean up Ukraine, it has to clean up Europe. It has to take Ursula von der Leyen for taking bribes from Pfizer. Now, I understand from Ursula's point of view. It doesn't mean I believe or approve. I understand what she did, right? Pfizer knew they had a bad product. They negotiated a fine. They paid her a commission for negotiating this fine. And the fine saved the European economy. Now, again, they've done this with Microsoft, Apple, they've done them, everyone. 11 times Pfizer has been done. This is the cost of doing business in Ukraine. This is the cost of doing business in Europe. The cost of doing business in China. They do call it finer, by the way. Finer. Lots of fines in China. It's the cost of doing business. Google just got hit. This is how they balance the books. They fine the companies. Lots of fines every year. Billions in fines every year. So Ukraine is headed for a catastrophic crash if it doesn't restore democracy, because democracy is the promise, and the last thing the people want is that promise of peace to be taken away from them. It won't end well. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. You know what's going to happen, right? Ukraine will turn against Ukraine. Yes, just like in Vietnam. When the people no longer believed peace was achievable from their side, they joined the other side. That's right. That's exactly what happens. The people who did Vietnam didn't want communism, they wanted peace. And if one side wasn't going to provide it, they went to the other. So, don't shoot the messenger. I'm only warning you, based on history, human behavior is not unique to gender or race. Human behavior is human behavior. So, like, share, subscribe, support me on Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. I appreciate each and every one of you. Independent journalism is hard because it means you've got to be supported independently. Because we all know NGOs only offer you money when you sing their song, when you praise her Soros. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video, and bye for now.